So after the card has flipped around, revealing the answer, we then want to swipe the card to the left or the right. So we can detect swipes on the card by using the GestureDetector widget. So inside of GestureDetector, so we're in card 2, we can select a whole lot of different properties. Select on horizontal drag end, and here we have a function which will run at the end of the drag, and this will give us the drag details at the end of the drag. So here I'll name this just details, and we can select primary velocity. So this will give us the velocity on the horizontal axis, so we just want it on the horizontal direction, and this will produce a double. Let's wrap this in a print function and see what information we get. Do a hot reload. So here we have a positive number. A positive number will mean we're swiping in the right direction, and a negative number means we're swiping in the left direction. So here we have the velocity on the horizontal axis. So now we can use this information to actually have the card animate with a slide animation to the left or the right. So we can do that with some if statements. If details dot primary velocity is greater than 100, and we'll print out swiped right because this will be a positive number, and I've put 100 here so we have a small threshold, so therefore touches on the card are ignored, and we cannot have a nullable type inside an if condition here. So to get around that, we'll use the bang operator, the exclamation mark, and that's going to say yes, we are going to get a value, and we will, whether that be negative, positive or 0. It won't be null, so we can just add that. Okay, so now we know when we're swiping right, so we can do the same thing for left, copy and paste that, and this time it'll be less than negative 100, and we'll update our print function, so swipe left. Hot reload, so swipe right, swipe left. Okay, cool, so we can now detect when we're swiping left or right on the card. So now let's use the information to actually have the card animate in those directions, depending on what way we swipe. So we can do that by using provider. We'll jump into Flashcards notifier. So here we want to set the direction, and we can do that by using this enum we created, slide direction, and by using left away or right away. So we'll create that slide direction, and we'll name this swipe direction, and we'll set this to none because we need to set it to a value. Okay, now we need to create a method that will actually have that card swipe in that direction. So this will be card 2. I'll name this run, so all our methods start with run. So here the first thing we need to set is the direction. Required a slide direction, so we can set our swipe direction equal to the direction that we pass in, and we'll call notify listeners here. Okay, cool. So now this method will be called, and we'll set this swipe direction to either left or right. Now let's do a print statement so we can see what's happening. And we'll jump back to card 2. Now instead of these print statements here, let's remove them. We'll call that method. So we'll use notifier here from consumer, notifier.run swipe card 2. So this will be greater than 100. So the direction will be right. So slide direction dot right away, and we'll just copy this and paste this here. In this case it's going to be the same, except this is going to be less than negative 100, so that will be left away. And now we need to update our slide animation, so that updates. So here we have slide direction up in. We can replace that with notifier dot swipe direction. And now we need to run this when it has actually been swiped. So we need to be notified when the card has been swiped. So we'll go to Flashcards notifier and we'll create another variable. We'll name the swipe card 2 and we'll set this to false. And then in here, remove that print function, we'll write swipe card 2 is equal to true. So that's set to true. Okay, now if we jump back to card 2, we can write animate, and this will animate when notifier dot swipe card 2 is true. So this animation will run when this is true, and it will run in whatever direction we set here, left or right. Okay, so let's test this out. Hot restart. Card 1 comes up to the center of the screen, double tap it. Okay, and that's swiped away. Now it's actually swiped away in the direction opposite to what we swiped in. And it appears the reason that has happened is the card is actually flipped around 180 degrees. So therefore the offset, which is relative to its position, has offset itself to the left or the right, but that appears the opposite to what we see here on the screen. So therefore we can just fix that by updating right away. So this can become left away, and left away can become right away. So we can just flip that around because the card has been flipped around. So therefore we'll just flip this back. So it's a little bit confusing, but easy fix. So let's run that again, hot restart. Card comes in, double tap it. Now let's flip this to the left. Cool. So that's now flipped to the left.